Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lamery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo the boys with you for the next three on this fine First Friday edition of the program. 10 o'clock, we're going to do a little over-under stat-wise with the Buckeye players as we kick off the 2025 season. 10:30, Jake, he wrote an incredible piece at ESPN.com on Ryan Day and the transformation that happened during last season after the Michigan game and as they went through the playoff that you got to read. And he's going to join us at 10:30, as he always does, and get you set for week one. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. In addition to that, you can do so on the YouTube chat. The winner there gets a $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour as well. And then a real treat at 11:30, we go behind enemy lines with Craig Way. He is the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and he will join us at 11:30. Speaking of Texas, when we were at Ohio State practice at the start of the year, we had Ryan Day on set with us, and I asked him about opening with Texas. And that the way I phrased the question was, isn't it cool that we're playing this game? And isn't it, shouldn't it be that this is what Ohio State is, that they play games like this? And at the time, he was coming fresh off of the Big Ten media days out in Las Vegas, and the marching orders for clearly from the conference top all the way down was, anytime you talk about scheduling, make sure you say, well, yeah, we'll keep doing this, but the SEC has to play 9 conference games. We'll keep doing this, but the SEC has to follow suit as well. Now, my take on this before the SEC went to 9 conference games was Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care how many games the SEC plays. It's important for Ohio State to continue to play these games because there are certain certainties in the Ohio State schedule that are going to start to go away, namely Penn State, which most of you out there listening cannot recall a world where Ohio State didn't play Penn State every year. It's what you do. You play Penn State every year. It's the end of October. It's the beginning of November. In the old days, before the Fox cartel, mostly it was at night. A lot of times it was at night, and it was awesome over there or here. Some of the most memorable games you can remember as an Ohio State fan in the last 25 years have been the Penn State games. And obviously you've won 8 in a row and you have their number, but they are absolutely a worthy adversary. They are absolutely a talent equates. They are absolutely a rival. Well, that's going away. And so as the Big Ten goes to this schedule where the only certainties from a Buckeye perspective is that you're going to play Michigan every single year and everything else is going to rotate through, it's critical, in my opinion, for Ohio State to continue to play these type of games. And the good news is, for the most part, they are. If you go back as long as I've been around this program and you just look at since Tressel, let's call it from Tressel on, this is a staple of Ohio State scheduling. This game that we're going to have on Saturday. Now, typically it's not the opener, but it's usually an early September game. It's a home and away. Just think of it in the last 20 years, what those Texas games meant to you. Think of those classic moments that happened in 05 and 06. Think about USC coming in here. I remember when Matt Barkley came in here as a true freshman and won. That was a stunning thing to see him coming in here with USC and winning. The Virginia Tech home and home. The loss here that inevitably ended up in a national championship. The win down there where you didn't know who the starting quarterback was until Urban sent him out. That's the one where Braxton hit the B button I've never seen a play like that ever. And Braxton hit the B button in that game. That was an awesome environment for the people that were there. The Notre Dame home and aways, the Oregon home and aways before they joined the league, Texas now the next 2 years. In the future, you have non-conference games against Alabama that are on the books for 27 and 28. You have Georgia on the books in 30. For some reason, 29 got messed up. I don't know why. The 29 non-conference is Navy, Charlotte, and Youngstown State, and that sucks. That really sucks. The Big Ten is going to have to do Ohio State a big favor that year in 2029 to make sure that the home games that year include some combination of USC, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan. You're going to have to. You cannot have a non-conference schedule that has – you can't have a football schedule that has Navy, Charlotte, Youngstown State, and you don't get to play the heavy hitters from the Big Ten. You just can't. So that's one that I'm going to be monitoring. 2030, though, they got Georgia. My hunch is there's a return here from Georgia in 2031. This is part of the fabric of what makes this place special, playing in these games. This is part of in my opinion, this is part of the identity of Ohio State football in the modern era, is to play these type of games. And if you want to go back to Coop, you can, because then you can get Notre Dame in the 90s, home and away. So this is something that they've done strategically in scheduling, and I think it's critical that it continues. And I think a 12-team playoff and inevitably a 16-team playoff only make these games more easy to schedule. Let's take a look at this game we have coming up on Saturday. This will be, this thing's going to be a bonanza from a rating standpoint. It is. We've never had an opener like this. We all know all about it. There's no such thing as hyperbole with this matchup because it's impossible. It's all real. It's all real. But the reality of it is that win or lose, both of these teams are going to be fine. They're going to be just fine. And both of it, I think I was talking to some folks down in Austin yesterday. Their feeling is we're going to have to play Georgia twice and we're going to have to play Ohio State twice. That's the way they're looking at it. That's college football in the modern era. And I saw some news yesterday where I think it was it West Virginia and Georgia or Alabama?
Alabama and West Virginia canceled 26 and 27 home and home.
Yeah, so Alabama, before they went to a 9-game, think about that from their perspective. Alabama, before they went to a 9-game schedule, was going to play out of conference West Virginia and Ohio State. That's a good job. That's a good job out of them. This year, Alabama is playing Florida State in week 1. I'm pretty sure they play Wisconsin too. I know last year they did. I think there's a Wisconsin game on their schedule too. So they've been doing it. And I think when you think about this from the Ohio State perspective, this is part of the identity. It's part of the fabric. Modern Ohio State football, this is part of who Ohio State is. Let's measure ourselves with the other folks who look a little bit like us from a football program perspective that are around the country. And I'm here for it, and I think it's critical that they keep doing it. This is going to be special on Saturday. It's going to be special next year in Austin. It's going to be special in Tuscaloosa in a couple of years. And them coming here, Alabama coming and running out of the shoe. Same thing at Georgia. Keep doing it, Ross and Ryan. Don't stop playing these games. To me, this is part of the identity of what Ohio State football has become.
And I think for a greater college football conversation, keep these at college campus sites.
Yes.
Stop moving them to the neutral site games. Talking to Ross Bjork about how Ohio State's always going to play 7 games at the shoe. Well, maybe you could play an 8th. If it's the option of playing an 8th on Ohio State's campus at Ohio Stadium or playing an 8th at a neutral site, I always, 10 out of 10, pick the campus site.
Yeah.
So I think it is important for the schools, the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC and lesser extent the Big 12, to when they want to schedule out of conference, they schedule home and home. They don't schedule Chick-fil-A Classics or State Farm Insurance kickoffs or Tostitos Bowl pre-classics. Do them on campus sites. Keep them the way they are that Ohio State has scheduled with Texas, Alabama, and Georgia.
We thought when a playoff expanded, this is what we were going to get, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. More of these games because more teams are going to get in the dance. I hate that they held these games over our head, right? They used them as bargaining chips to get what they want. Well, we don't want to miss out on the playoffs if we play this tough team here, and I hate that they did that, but it seems like we are going to get these games moving forward, and we all complain, right? SEC, they play softies, and you can look at Alabama and you see UL Monroe on the schedule this year, and then Eastern Illinois, their next to last game of the regular season. 3 of their first 4, though, are Florida State, Wisconsin, Georgia. Boom.
Jeez.
Right out the rip. And listen, is Florida State going to be any good this year? I don't know. Is Wisconsin going to be any good? I have no clue, but I know those teams were good when these games got scheduled.
And you know that those are good programs that have talent. You know it's not UL Monroe. You know it's not Youngstown State. You know it's not Charlotte. It's not those type of teams.
And they're names that move the needle, right?
Yes.
This is what we want to see. This is what college football was built on. I remember what a big deal it was when Notre Dame came to the Shoe in 95, and then we returned the favor in 96. Like, those were huge games. I remember Cooper playing USC here at night. And how electric that was. Like, this is what we want as fans.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's what you need. I think it's what the program needs. I think it's what college football needs. You need to play these type of games, and you must continue to do so. And this is what forced the SEC to go to 9 conference games was the words from the committee that strength of schedule is going to matter more than ever. Well, the Big Ten doesn't play the hits. They don't. I mean, Penn State got off the hook. They're not going to have to play Ohio State for a couple of years. Like, they're not playing the hits. So you have to continue to play these type of games and understand that it will benefit you in the long run, and it will benefit you in the sense of your fans. Your fans will have your back, and you created what is going to be an electric atmosphere on Saturday, and we want more of it. What else do you want from the new era of Buckeye football? We will get to that coming up next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day. The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. Drains are clogged throughout the house. I'm gonna throw a fit. Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee. It's 93 or free. Guaranteed. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast. Secrets of Pella. Where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, these magical disappearing screens you speak of, what exactly is Pella hiding?
Well, hiding the screens is the whole point.
All right, cut. The screen just disappears? There's no magic involved? Okay.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fan's YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Heading back to school, we are stronger together. Educators and parents on a mission to make sure our public school students have what they need to succeed. We are excited together, ready to make this the best school year yet. We are better together. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing, asking you to stand with OEA for the great public schools Ohio students deserve. We are stronger together this school year because public education matters.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports skidball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot more sunshine today after a chilly start. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-70s across central Ohio, and then for tonight, partly cloudy with our lows down in the mid to low 50s. For Thursday, we will have a chance of showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. Otherwise, we'll see some increasing clouds, partly sunny skies, and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. And if you think you know sports trivia, here's your shot to score tickets to Ohio State, Texas. It's the season kickoff trivia tournament. It is Friday, August 29th, the O on Lane. Bring the heat, bring your A game, bring a teammate. Sign up your two-person team right now at 971thefan.com. The season kickoff trivia tournament is sponsored by Logan Services. It's hard. I mean, we're here. I'll be candid with you guys. I forgot it was Labor Day. I forgot it was just Ohio State.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
Not for us.
I think it's weird, like that Labor Day weekend is August still. Like that makes no sense to me.
I don't have a problem with that. I think it's also weird that like we'll be working on Labor Day. We'll be, and like everyone, it feels like everybody who isn't like us is doing the 4-day weekend thing,
which is good. Like,
smart.
And our Monday show is going to feel like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, isn't that something? Like what that, you think about what that show could be one way or another. And that's the cool thing about this game is that we're going to know so much more about these two teams than we do currently. We've never had, this is like, NBC was telling me this. They did this thing yesterday. He's in 8th grade now, and they did this thing in school where it's like a pretest for history. And the idea was, here are questions for all the things that you're going to learn this year. Let's see how many of them you know before we teach it to you. That's a little bit of what this is Saturday. It's here's what you know right away, and then what can you build upon over the course of the year. Go ahead, Beck.
And that's what I was just going to say, and we've mentioned this multiple times on the show, and yeah, Monday we're going to know a lot more about these teams than we do right now. But we still really don't know anything because come November, both these teams are going to be way different, especially this Ohio State team, I believe.
I agree, and I think it speaks to one of the I saw this morning on Outkick, and I've seen it at other places. Like, what if Ohio State wins? What if that happens? And just nationally, all of this is number one Texas. This is the Heisman frontrunner. It's the presumptive number one pick in the draft. If the Buckeyes beat Texas, and rest assured they can absolutely beat Texas, and I feel pretty good about how this thing could go on Saturday, that narrative flip for Texas is going to be a dramatic one, because if the Buckeyes win, to Bake's point, I think most people around the country who are college football pundits or pretend to act like they know what they're talking about would agree with what Bake just said, that Ohio State is going to be much better by the time they get to November. So if they ace the pretest, look out.
If Ohio State beats Texas, when Ohio State beats Texas, that'll be 2 in a row. Buckeyes get to keep Bevo.
Is Bevo coming?
Great. Are they bringing
Still TBD.
Gosh, if they bring Bevo, that's going to be beautiful.
There's only really one way to get him into the stadium.
Right down the ramp.
I think. And do you want to do that?
You could take him down both ramps. Both the visiting or home ramp, you could take him down.
Is there clearance for the horns?
Him?
No.
No. Have you seen him?
Not live.
No.
Oh, he's massive. Like, you can't even, it don't make sense how big he is. And I grew up around cattle my whole life. And he's just a massive beast. Really, really cool. Really cool. And yeah, the other thing that's really cool about Longhorns, my uncle has one on the Ponderosa, and he just likes looking at him. So he's just kind of always around the house, like in the pastures right around the house. And it's crazy how well they can navigate their horns. Like, you would think that they would run into stuff with them all the time. They never do. They know exactly where the horns are at all times.
All right, Brian Hedger from the Dispatch says that Bevo will not be attending. Due to the game's early placement on the schedule, plus logistical issues associated with hauling a 2,100-pound steer 1,200 miles and back, Bevo will not be here.
He's a steer? He doesn't have his minerals? So a steer means no minerals.
Sure.
Bull means minerals.
Wouldn't, if you're going to put it with people, want it to not have the minerals?
Well,
would that make it more? You would know. Would that make it more aggressive?
Bulls can definitely be feisty, but the one thing that you lose when you lose the minerals is the ability to put on muscle and all of that. So your size. So that makes me think they took his minerals after he was fully grown.
Feisty when Uga gets too close.
Yeah, you don't like that guy. You don't like that guy at all. Yeah, Uga's pretty damn cool too. Yeah, you love the live mascots. I saw Ralphie. Ralphie, whatever number it is shutting it down, going out to the pastures. They got to do a new Ralphie at Colorado. Ralphie's smaller than you think. So Bevo's bigger. Ralphie is smaller. Like when you think of, and thank God they don't use like a full-grown male bison. That'd be a problem.
Yeah,
4 guys on strings aren't controlling that guy. So they're doing the smart thing. But Ralphie is definitely smaller than you think. When you think about the question of what is important to you as a Buckeye football fan in this new era, we kind of outlined that it's critical that they maintain these type of games, these type of out-of-conference games. Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see home and away with? And when you put that list together, try to do it without it being an SEC team, because it gets pretty hard, because the Pac-12 is gone. Pac-12 is gone. You used to say, okay, we could do USC and Oregon out west. That makes sense. Washington, we played them in out-of-conference home and aways years ago. So those were 3 out west that you could rely on. You could always rely, in the old days, in the Big 12, you could get Oklahoma and Texas, and you could play those teams home and away. Those all made sense. Notre Dame, obviously. But if you take that, all of those options are now away. So the only out of conferences you can play are Notre Dame, that I think would have an interest in, are Notre Dame. There's a handful of SEC teams, and then who from the ACC? Just Clemson?
So the first two,
maybe FSU.
The first
Miami?
2 that came to my mind were Death Valley, both of them, LSU and Clemson. Yeah. LSU obviously in the SEC. I know maybe it's lost a little luster. I would still love to do a home and home with Florida State and Miami.
We've done one with Miami.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It has. That was what, like
they played
12, 11? 11 we went down there. Yeah.
And then they played what, with 99 in East Rutherford in the kickoff classic to open the season.
Yeah, we played home and away against Miami. It was 11 and 12 or 10 and 11. I can't remember. I remember going down there in 11 with Luke.
Would Colorado be interesting? I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'd be a fun road trip.
Coach Prime's not going to be there past the 2028 season, so I can't imagine it being, them being of any national importance.
Mm-hmm.
But that road trip would be fun.
It would be.
Fly and obviously stay out there. Like 2029, could you do that instead of Charlotte or Navy?
Yes. anything would be better than. I mean, there's no reason to play Charlotte. We've played the service academies. I have great respect and admiration, so that's fine. There's no reason to play Charlotte in 2029.
It's not great on the football field, but just because I want to go there, let's play Hawaii. That'd be fun.
You sound like my kids.
Go out there with the team. Why not?
Just go out there with the team. Go play in like that 12,000 seat stadium that they have. That
BYU will probably offer a feisty opponent for at least the next decade.
Yeah,
playing out in Provo would be cool.
Yeah, you could do Utah too in that regard. Salt Lake City's just north, so you could do that too. I think from the correct answer is obviously the SEC teams, and then Florida State, Clemson, Miami. I think all of those are good. LSU would be incredible.
What about your ponies?
You play that game. I thought about them. You don't go to home and home. You play that game at Jerry World.
Okay.
For Texas recruiting. That's what you do there. You could do that in 29. Play SMU in Dallas at Jerry World in 2029. I'd do that versus Charlotte in a second. In terms of the SECs, I think Tennessee, I really liked that back and forth last year. I think going to Knoxville would be fun, and having them come here would be a lot of fun. They were on the schedule, I want to say, in the teens, and then it got bounced. But that I think that would be good. Obviously, we've played Texas, Georgia. We're going to play Bama, and we're going to play Bama and Georgia. We played Texas and Oklahoma. Those are all no-brainers. LSU is kind of the one that's staring at you. LSU's a no-brainer. And then I think the other one that would be kind of interesting is Florida, because when they have it going, and I don't know if they're going to have it going again. Big year, obviously, down there for them. The Swamp's pretty cool. The Swamp's very cool. So those are some ones that I think jump out. But I do think, and then in the conference schedule, Ohio State has to make sure, and they need to impress upon the new leadership in the Big Ten a lot. But one of the things they have to make sure is that they have some combination of, to me, I think they should play 3 of these teams every year, of Oregon, USC, Penn State. I guess if you want to add, who else would it be? Nebraska, Wisconsin. You're going to play Michigan every year. But, like, you have to play that Washington. You got to play 3 of those every year at least. And you're going to play Michigan every year. So you need 3 of those that other group to be on the schedule every year, in my opinion. Just have to. If you're going to try to keep this stuff interesting, you can't have schedules that have a bunch of gimme games. And unfortunately, the Big Ten has a ton of them. This one's fun. Ryan Day yesterday commented on what it's like to start with the number 1 team in the country at your place. You'll hear his answer in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Ryan Day with his game week presser. The first one of the season happened yesterday. It hit right at noon. It was done right at 12:30. I mean, it was pretty close to on the dot. Wide-ranging, lots of information. Who's up, who's down on game day. Heartline will be up in the box. Those type of questions were answered as well. And then, of course, you start to get into the matchup, and you talk about the quarterbacks and defensive and what is Patricia. All of these things that we're going to have answers to, or at least some better understanding of by the time 3:30 hits on Saturday afternoon. And all of this is possible because you are playing a game like this. It ratcheted up the sense of urgency. It ratcheted up certainly fall camp, summer camp, all of those things. And it's unlike anything we've ever seen. Here is Coach Day on the excitement to play a game like this to kick off the season.
Well, first off, I think it's great for college football playing a game like this opening weekend. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Sark, for his coaching staff, for the players. And we're excited to play these guys. You know, it's rare that you would, kind of play someone like this towards the end of the season and start the regular season with them. But here we are. And I think it's going to give us a great barometer coming out of the first game. But for us, as we talked about before, the preparation starts really early because you got to be on point. We got to play a clean game. That's very, very important. And so, as you get closer and closer to the game, you just do everything you can to prepare the guys. I think when you look at our season, which is unique this year, one of your goals should be to win the opener. I mean, that's clear. We did that when we had Big Ten games to open the season, win the opener, and then you kind of go from there, which allows us an opportunity to focus on one game at a time. And then, once this game's over, we'll figure out what we did well, what we need to improve on. The issues will be there. They'll surface, and then we address them. So, it's an exciting time of year because now we get on the field and figure out where we're at, figure out where the guys are at, and go from there. But it's important that we play clean in game one.
So I was thinking to myself, when is the last, he said clean a lot. If you listened yesterday, it was play clean, play clean, play clean. Look, this is what I said yesterday. Cliches sometimes are cliches because they're true. And it does feel like that's what will be the determining factor on Saturday is who can play clean. It'll be about what players can elevate, who can make a play. Tim May had a line of questioning about that yesterday to Ryan with this idea of in the end, you can prepare as much as you want, but you need Travion Henderson to go to the house before half. You need Jack Sawyer to strip sacks, fumble. You need Caleb Downs on the play before that to blow up the pass to the left side, knifing in like a missile. You need players to make plays. That's what you need. The crazy thing about this is, can you guys remember the last time Ohio State started a season 0-1?
Was it 20? Was Virginia Tech the 24th? No, that was game 2.
Was it that Miami game? 99?
Nailed it. Get the kid a gold star.
It'd been a minute.
99. Yeah, that was
a long time.
Yeah, it was the last time Ohio State started 0-1. So this is so atypical in every single way. But I think it's wonderful, and I think win or lose, you're going to know a lot more about this team by the time you get to 3:30. The thing that I think is that they've done, which is very smart up there, is they have separated. They made it a very conscious point to separate what happened last year from this year. In the spring they talked about taking away any sort of memory or recollection of the national championship that was in the Woody. Like, let's get rid of it. Like, this is a new team. Let's start over. There is no carryover. Ryan's been big of saying, we're not defending the national championship. They're not taking it away from us. We have that forever. We're trying to go win another one. They're trying to be the hunted again. And I think opening with a game like this only helps. One thing I'm curious about is what is kind of the makeup of this team? What's the personality of it? Ryan was asked about that yesterday. What is the personality of this team? Here was his answer.
Yeah, and I don't think it always shows until you get on the field and actually play games. But it's competitive. It's edgy. They like competing. They enjoy being with each other. I think now it's just a lot of these guys got to get on the field and play, and then we'll figure out what it is from there. When we have success, when we have setbacks, those types of things as we work through that. But a lot of leadership has risen here, and that's a good thing.
I'm curious to see who that is, because from a leadership standpoint, you think of the last 2 times Ohio State won a national championship. The next year, a great many of the people who were paramount to that success returned. 03, 15, it was kind of let's run it back, right? I mean, it was kind of both in 02 and 14, it was kind of the team before the team, right? I mean, a lot of people think that certainly 15 was more talented than 14, but 14 was magic, and 15 we've been over a bunch of times. But a lot of times you run it back. You think about the fulcrum of this team from a leadership standpoint of Sawyer, Tuamoloau, Howard, Henderson, like they're all gone. Yeah, absolutely. They're all gone. Like now, there are guys who last year assumed that, certainly on the defensive front, that assumed they would have played and probably were shocked that Jack and JT came back. And so they were ready to play on the field, but are they ready to lead? Now, they got it in spades. I mean, Sonny Styles, follow him to freedom. You'll be fine. Caleb Downs has that, obviously. Brandon Ennis. But it's a lot of third-year guys that are being thrust in to massive leadership roles. So what does that look like? What does it look like with a redshirt freshman at quarterback? Because your quarterback has to be your leader. What does that look like the last 2 weeks for Julian Sayin? I have no idea what his game day prep personality is going to be, what his makeup's going to be. No, none of us do. We don't know. Feels to me like Arvell Reese is going to step up in a big way from a leadership standpoint. Feels like it, but we got to see it. So this is a talent equates game in every possible way. The personality of this team, the leadership, the voice of this team, who's going to grab that by the throat? I see it on defense. I can see who it is on defense. Offense, obviously Brandon's a captain. That checks a big box for everybody that they awarded him that. But where else is that coming from offensively?
And you heard Ryan talk about it there. Like sometimes you don't see these things until you actually get into a game. And you mentioned last year against Texas, the Travion Henderson play, the Jack Sawyer play. Sometimes those leaders show up in those key moments, right? Yeah. So like it's going to be interesting to see. Like we know Austin Serveld in the offseason he had, and we think he's the leader of the offensive line. We know Sonny Styles. We know Brandon Ennis has had a great year, and he's named captain, and Caleb Downs, obviously. But sometimes in those key moments, you're going to find guys that you didn't even know. You mentioned, could it be an Arvell Reese? Could it be a Jermaine Matthews? Is it Carnell Tate? It's one of the things that makes this season and this game so interesting and unique.
I think one of the things that, because there was so much last season, I think the Seth McLaughlin piece was so huge in figuring out their offensive line week to week, especially the times they had to shuffle things around. And I do think Carson Hinsman is one of those guys that we're not really talking about now, but we're going to at the end of the season, just how important his leadership on that offensive line was. Just like think of the journey that guy's had. Think of his Ohio State career and how all over the place that has been. And I think in serious trench situations when the bullets are flying, guys like him, guys like Austin Serveld, who Baker mentioned, Iron Buckeyes, are going to be those heroes. But I'm really excited to see in a third and short situation what Julian Sayin does.
Oh, man.
Like, where's he going with the football? Where's he going with his legs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And, leadership evolves. Will Howard, I don't think, was a leader of this team until Seth went down. Not truly. He was a natural leader. But in terms of William Wallace, follow me to freedom, it wasn't until Penn State. Penn State week is when you looked at Will different. When he said, this is personal. They didn't want me. And then he played the way he played there, the way he responded after the early turnover, all of that stuff. Like that leadership with him happened. I mean, that game was late October, early November. I can't remember the exact date, but it's when it always is, 2/3 of the way through the season. And that's when that leadership hit. That's when it hit. So this is the other thing about this game. This is so fascinating. We have never played a game like this knowing so little about the team that we're covering. We know the talent, but we do not know the personality. We do not know the makeup. We do not know how they're going to go about their business. Ohio State has new coordinators, offense and defense. and they're opening with the number one team. You've never had these circumstances before. Never. And we're all going to watch it together on Saturday and see what this is all about. The one thing, and I think this is a good kind of way to kind of put a ribbon on this thing from Ryan's presser yesterday, the tone that he had was entirely different from the previous week. This was a much more locked in, emphatic Ryan Day that we had yesterday. It feels like he likes his team a lot. Feels like he likes his team a lot, and they're ready to play this game. And so a couple of days we will. But it's going to be fascinating for all of us to watch. A couple of kids are getting married. That in the day in sports yesterday, cut downs in the NFL, all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Dormar, your kind of hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
The dog days are the best days to save at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on any new Kia EV, Sportage, or Sorrento, or 1.9% on a new 25 Seltos or K5. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales at all 4 locations. 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 financed. 1.9% for 48 months equals $21.65 per 1,000 financed. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Private sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity, I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. That's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Save big on everything for your next project at Menards. From hitches to ratchet straps and everything in between. We've got all your hauling needs covered. Tow smarter with a Tow Smart ball mount trailer hitch. It's built with durable steel construction that resists rust and corrosion. On sale now through September 1st. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
1, 2, 3. The national champion Buckeyes open up the season against Texas. If you could actually see my excitement, you'd be scared.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 6:30 with the Kick at noon.
Your forever home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Bear Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, some news out of the NFL here in the last couple of minutes. The Panthers and Vikings finalizing a deal that'll trade Adam Thielen back to Minnesota in exchange for conditional 7th-round pick and a 2020. Oh, no, that's part of the compensation. Panthers get a 2026 5th and a 2027 4th for Thielen to return. I'm really surprised that Carolina would do that with Bryce Young. He was kind of a security blanket last year, and that's a team that I think thinks it's going to make a little bit of a move, although the Browns really bullied them in joint practices, so maybe not as close as certainly they hope. But I'm surprised by that. You think you're going to be a security blanket for Bryce for this year, and instead he goes back to Minnesota.
That tells me they really like what they saw out of their first-round pick, Tet McMillan, in the preseason and in practices here. To me, Tet McMillan is going to be the security blanket now.
Well, he's an X, though. You know what I mean? Thielen's the slot guy, and McMillan on the outside. I would want them both.
They don't.
So they must have somebody that...
They don't have a lot on their depth chart right now.
No.
At the receiver position, that's for sure.
They get a receiver out of Colorado.
Jimmy Horn Jr., yeah.
They love him. Okay. Good job out of you. That's the name. I remember Zagura telling me that when they were at joint practices.
Because we were doing the Panthers one day, and I'm like, all right, don't pick a tight end. Baker's going to pick a tight end. Find somebody else. In terms of your fantasy sleeper. So there, Jimmy Horn Jr.
Brett McMurphy with this in the last 40 minutes. The Big Ten expanding again. Maryland AD says, who will be the new teams and what role does Notre Dame play in it? If you go to 20 in the Big Ten and you're not going to raid the ACC, then one of the 20 has got to be Notre Dame. And the other, I'm not sure what it would be at this point. I thought they should have taken Cal and Stanford, quite honestly. But I'm not sure what else would be appealing out there that's not an ACC team. What else would you want?
It just doesn't feel like Notre Dame's ever joining a conference.
Yeah, the only way would be if you forced them, if you said, look, we're not going to play you anymore, and maybe they see the writing on the wall and say, hey, we would rather play Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Washington, Penn State every year than play this ACC schedule. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're part of it.
Does the Big Ten have the stones?
I don't know. This guy's a wild card who's running it now.
It's the easy way to get Notre Dame, whether it's the Big Ten or anyone, is in the new CFP model. Hey, you're out. You're not in.
Their deal with NBC is up in 2029.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's.
Everything's coming to our deal. The NBC Notre Dame deal, I think, would be an easy workaround, though, because you have a pre-existing relationship with NBC in the Big Ten. So I think that would be an easy workaround until 2030 when they redo the maps.
We heard that the SEC might be interested in North Carolina. Would the Big Ten be trying to jump the gun on that?
Hugely. North Carolina would be, I know it blows people's mind, but North Carolina would be both the SEC and the Big Ten's number one draft pick outside of Notre Dame. That's it. That's the one that you'd want. I hope, first of all, I'd like to get rid of all of this and go back to the conferences as they used to be, the regional, but we're not going to do that. So with that not being possible, the thing that I would like to see in conference expansion, if you're going to continue to do it, is some sort of geographical integrity. So if you're going to go to 10, to me, there was an opportunity for Stanford and Cal, and then you would have had 6 teams out west. You could have paired Nebraska and Minnesota with them. I guess geographically they're the closest to the west that you can do. You could also add Iowa and Wisconsin and have those be the Big Ten true west. That to me has some appeal to it. But from a television perspective, there was no interest in Cal and Stanford, and we know that television is going to drive this thing. So if the Big Ten's adding 2 and the Maryland AD is right, if they get to 2 more, then to me, one of them has to be Notre Dame. And then I don't know who the 20th would be that would make any dang sense, save for raiding the ACC.
Is there a school in Texas that maybe they would want to try to get into that market, whether it be SMU or Houston or Texas Tech?
They all seem beneath us outside of Texas and Texas A&M, don't they?
Yeah, but if you want that market...
God, you should have just had Texas and Oklahoma when they added Maryland and
1,000%.
Rutgers. That would have been the easiest thing to do ever. Like, you could have just done that there, and you didn't.
Yeah, but you want that New York market, Bo.
Oh, God.
You got to have that New York market.
That cable buy.
That's not a question.
No, that Morristown, New Jersey cable buy. That's the thing you're looking for.
The birther of college football.
That deal had to have been hatched at the Bada Bing. It just had to be. There's no other reason to have any, with Tony Soprano sitting at the table. That's the only way that deal got done, to bring in Rutgers. Makes no sense. Hey, they're getting married. They're really doing it, those crazy kids.
It's the biggest win for Cleveland since LeBron.
All right, where do you think the wedding will take place? I don't need location, but what is the mood of that wedding?
Nashville.
Vegas. A Kelsey wedding in Vegas. I mean,
Travis
come on.
would do Vegas. I think it's a castle. I think they go to like one of those castles in like Italy, or one of those castles in like the south of France. This is Taylor Swift, for God's sakes. Everything she does is with incredible intent. I cannot imagine that this isn't some European castle where they're getting married. Like the truest sense of fairy tale. That's my guess on how that would be I don't think it'll be beach nuptials. So I'm going to go castle somewhere in Europe.
It's just, it's a continuation of news breaking when we're not on the air. But,
yeah.
Bo, while you were on the air, did you get anything about this?
So I was actually breaking down what the real truth was in the Browns quarterback competition. And one of the employees with the Browns came over waving a phone in panic. And we call her the debutante. And we're like, well, what is the debutante doing? What is going on? Did we trade for Matthew Stafford? What is happening? What's the sense of urgency? And the sense of urgency was this. And I'm like, okay, great. But I don't know that we need to interrupt what we're doing for this. Everybody who needs to know knows immediately. This was not a secret that needed to be, hey, I have breaking news. Everybody knows.
Because Major League Baseball tried to unveil their schedule for next season, all 162 games for each team, and nobody cared. I don't think people would have cared regardless, but even
what are
more
they
so.
Doing? How do you do this this week, Major League Baseball? Do it 2 weeks ago. Why would you do it now?
They have no clue.
They really don't. No, they really don't have a clue at all. On how to handle those type of things.
I love how people were putting out stories yesterday on the ring maker, the jeweler who made the ring, and just stories everywhere.
Yeah. He's just a kid from Cleveland Heights, man. He's going to marry the most famous girl in the world. Good for him. It's absolutely outstanding. We have some player props, some player over-unders for your Buckeyes this season. Which of these? We've set these numbers. Had some friends with 11 Warriors who kind of helped us with some of these numbers that we're going to deal with. So we're going to take a look at Julian Saying passing yards, James Peoples rushing yards, Jeremiah Smith, those type of things. And then beyond that, which of these are necessary? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Second hour, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
USDA Choice Bone-in Ribeye Steaks are $9.99 a pound in the value pack with your digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You may play the Ohio Lottery, but how well do you know the odds? True or false? When more people play Powerball or Mega Millions, the odds of winning a jackpot are worse. It's false. The odds for draw games don't change. The game design sets the odds, so your odds stay the same no matter who plays or how big the jackpot is. The only thing that is worse is the number of coworkers expecting free lunch if you win. I mean, how many tacos can one man buy every Tuesday? Learn more about common lottery myths at ohiolottery.com/knowtheodds. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and the deals are hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for just $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or drive home in the new 25 Honda Prologue EX. Lease it now for only $149 a month, or 0% APR, plus no payments for 90 days. Get the deal you deserve at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Reds fans, for a limited time, save big on all remaining home games with no fees on regular season full-price tickets. Catch the biggest upcoming matchups against the Cardinals, Mets, Cubs, and more. This offer includes Labor Day weekend, which you can spend at the ballpark cheering on your Redlegs. On Saturday, August 30th, fans in attendance will receive a Hunter Green bobblehead thanks to TriHealth while supplies last. Hurry, this no-fees offer ends Thursday. Visit reds.com/tickets.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. We're 3 days out from Ohio State and Texas. The third-ranked Buckeyes are a 1.5 favorite, hosting the top-ranked Longhorns Saturday at noon. We'll have live fan pregame coverage right across from the shoe starting Saturday morning at 8:30. You'll hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, the Panthers have sent receiver Adam Thielen to the Vikings in exchange for future draft capital. In baseball, the Reds dropped their second straight, a 6-3 loss to the Dodgers last night in Los Angeles. Redlegs look to avoid the series sweep tonight against LA at 8:40. As for the Guardians, Cleveland shut out Tampa on Tuesday 3-0. That win snapped a 6-game losing streak. Guardians can make it 2 in a row, hosting the Rays today at 1:10. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or you can visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971BFS on the Twitter and also in the YouTube chat. We will get to those coming up an hour from now. I did get a chance to read the Brett McMurphy piece with the Maryland AD saying expansion is coming in 2030 to the Big Ten. And one of the headlines, one of the big parts of the story was Notre Dame's not going anywhere, that they're holding on to their independence like grim death. So, again, I just wouldn't play them. I would just have our members not play them. Nobody here's playing them. You're not going to get to play USC. Good luck. Play all of the rest of those that you want. So that leads to, if you're going to go to 20, you're going to have to raid the ACC. That's what you're going to do. And by the time you get to 2030, the penalties for leaving the ACC really fall off. Here's my problem with it. Which two? And why would you only take two? As spread out as this conference is already, why would you only take two? If you're going to go into the ACC, take 6 of them and get to 24 and have two 12-team divisions and truly be big. I can give you the 6. Take Miami, Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Duke. And then it's a conversation. Do you want Pitt? Do you want Virginia Tech? Do you want whatever else you'd want? Boston College? Like, do you want to throw a bone to Penn State again? You already did that with Maryland and Rutgers. Do you do that again? Those are the things that to me would make sense. I don't understand the idea of just taking 2 from the ACC, Reese.
I guess I'd be okay with taking Boston College. Then those games in 35 and 36 could be conference games. Then you could schedule an SEC opponent. Like, that'd be your big boy non-con.
Snagglepuss had a question about playing Pitt in West Virginia. And I'm cool with playing those non-conference, but not as the main non-conference. Like, you should still play a powerhouse in the non-conference. Like, play those in addition to.
Like a serious school.
Yeah, for sure. So,
because I think we could do that next July or maybe August as a preview to the season. Put serious schools versus non-serious schools.
I think they blew this in a lot of ways. I think they got bailed out by Washington and Oregon being in the crumbling of the Pac-12. I think that bailed them out a little bit because they ended up getting those 2 schools. And in doing so, you got them at a discount, which is crazy to me that Oregon is at a discount with as strong as that brand is. But if you're going down into the ACC country and you're only taking 2, you're in a position where they're going to be on islands. Absolute islands. I think it's nonsensical that the Big Ten, when they scheduled this new league, didn't have Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA play each other every year. If you're USC, you should be playing UCLA, Oregon, and Washington every single year. That should be given. It is known. Rich on social said, well, why can't you make Penn State play Ohio State every year? Well, you can. You can make Penn State play Ohio State every year. They just chose not to. They acquiesced to Penn State. You think Kirby Smart last year wanted to play Texas and Bama in conference? Of course not. You remember him post-game?
Yeah. He's pissed.
He was pretty pissed off about it. He didn't want to do that. But Sankey said, this is for the good of the league. We need Georgia to play Texas in Austin, year 1. We need Oklahoma to play Alabama. Alabama went to Norman, year 1. Because it was what was best for the league. So if you're just adding 2 out of the ACC by 2030, I've said this before. A lot of my folks down in Tallahassee are like emphatic that Florida State's going to be a Big Ten team sooner rather than later. I don't know if 2030 counts as sooner rather than later, but you can't take Florida State by themselves. And I don't know where they would rank on teams that the Big Ten would want, but to me, they would be down the list. I know North Carolina is number 1. And then beyond that, Is it Miami? I mean, Clemson does not feel like a Big Ten team in any way, shape, or form, but I guess neither did USC.
Would Georgia Tech be anything that would have interest? I'm just trying to think outside the box here.
It's a great school.
They love the academic thing.
Yeah. They just have never really won significantly. And I think the one thing that I hope that this league learned with the Rutgers Maryland expansion is that joining this league does not prop up a program. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you'll use it properly or that all of a sudden you'll be a football brand. Gene Smith was so adamant about that Rutgers and Maryland would somehow elevate by being part of this league. They haven't. They haven't elevated in it at all. They're the same. Maryland was really better under Ralph Friedgen 20 years ago than they are now. They haven't been in the mix. Rutgers hasn't been in the mix. So what I would hope is that whoever's running the Big Ten at the time that these decisions are made, and hopefully Ohio State has a front row seat and a massive voice in what this league is going to look like in the future, whatever that is, take the football brands. Football drives this whole thing. Don't try to create football brands. Take football brands that are historically important and add those to your league. And the second thing you do, actually the first thing you do is say, we're not scheduling Notre Dame anymore. That's number one. Force their hand. Force them to make a decision. And if they choose poorly, then go raid the ACC and say, enjoy playing Boston College and Wake Forest and Duke every year, Notre Dame. Because we're taking all the programs that matter. Unfortunately, there's nobody in the Big 12 that... I mean, you'd be doing Nebraska a favor if you added teams from that part of the country. I don't know if it would be, I don't even know what it would be. If it would be Utah, I don't know who you would add out of the Big 12 that would be appealing, that would make sense.
Do we think we're even going to have conferences in football moving forward into the future? Like, I think it'll be a while, but like 10 years from now, are we going to be talking about the Big Ten and the SEC? Or are we going to be talking about like the Northeast, the Southeast, I
think those brands will always be there, Bake. I think what is most likely to happen in the next 5 to 7 years in this sport is you will see weighted payrolls for programs. So if you're going to ask us to play Big Noon every game, we're going to make more than Purdue. We're going to make more than Rutgers. We're going to make more than... There's going to be tiers of... based on brands and what you're capable of. Because the notion that we're just dragging along these other teams in this league for all these years, I think those days are done. I think they're done. I think you will see weighted payouts for the teams who deliver the audiences. Because that's the whole objective. Lights went out in Georgia, boys.
It's spooky in here.
It was only supposed to happen at 9:15.
We got an email at 9:15.
It was supposed to happen at 10:10.
And I don't know if it came across the YouTube chat, but they turned off the power and they went to a generator, and I'm in the bathroom as this is happening. Like, thanks, AEP. You couldn't have waited.
Did the emergency lights pop on in there?
No, it went dark. Well, after like 10 seconds. Just panicked, to say the least.
You guys went dark for a minute there. Everything's all good.
Helped you get everything out, though, didn't it?
What's that?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet.
Nobody on the, I didn't get
nobody
on
on the
my
YouTube
pants.
chat.
Speaking of blacking out, I was happened to be listening live when Mike had Timmy suck down that ghost pepper
from Skip's garden.
The juxtaposition of that is just impossible. If not. Just Mike.
Skip Mossick
Mike
growing.
And Timmy and Skip. Like, what is Skip doing growing weapons of mass destruction? That's what it seems like they were. It felt like weapons of mass destruction. What is he doing growing those things? I had no idea. Skip must like them.
Skip's likes to cook a lot. Probably uses them in his pasta. Just sprinkle
ghost pepper?
a little. Just to sprinkle a little in. Not that you're not eating the whole thing.
You guys ever go down that road with heat?
So I have done it a little bit with wings. Like, I remember, like, what was it? Like, Quaker Steak and Lube had, like, a triple atomic. Okay. And I remember, like, dipping my finger in and tasting it. And, yeah, it was hot. I just didn't like the taste of it. Like, the taste isn't there. I don't care about the heat. I've got to like it, though. The taste has to be good.
Yeah, you had to sign a waiver.
You did.
To try that. And it was hot, but it didn't taste good.
I'm not for it. I don't like, I'm fine with a little bit of spice. I'm fine with it, but I don't seek it out. Like, anytime I see those people on Hot Ones, I'm like, yeah, I would never do that. I would never do that. Where you, like, anything that you consume that if you get it on your hands and touch your eyes, you go blind, I tend to steer away from.
I'm out.
I don't need it. So, God bless Timmy on that. All right, we'll get your player over-unders coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon.
Nice. You guys think of everything.
Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for complete terms.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. It's the last month for the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. That means you get special APRs with 3.99% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Lease payments as low as $419 per month. Also, plenty of pre-owned L-certified vehicles are on the lot with rates as low as 5.75%. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my guys. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Introducing The Fan 2. A totally different radio station is coming to 1460 AM, The Fan's HD2, and The Fan app. Your home for Bob and Tom mornings and Jim Rome in the afternoons. It all starts Tuesday, September 2nd.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is $0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year, or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extra help. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes or even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot more sunshine today after a chilly start. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-70s across central Ohio, and then for tonight, partly cloudy with our lows down in the mid to low 50s. For Thursday, we will have a chance of showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. Otherwise, we'll see some increasing clouds, partly sunny skies, and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's have a little fun with some Ohio State player over-unders. We have a bunch of them here. We'll kind of go over, quite simply, the over and under. Do we think we'll be over or under with the various players on Ohio State? Reese is going to adjudicate. Go ahead, my friend.
I played this, the Big Ten on CBS theme, just wondering out loud when's the first time we might hear that as an Ohio State fan base.
Good question.
When they might come to Columbus. As we think on that, we'll have, like you said, some over-unders for Ohio State players this upcoming season. 3 days out from Ohio State and Texas, high noon from the Shoe. Our pregame coverage starts at 10:30, live from campus. We'll be right across the street, right across the game day set, right outside of St. John Arena. For Julian Sain, over or under 3,299.5 passing yards this season.
Wow. So I went to state school, but I think that's 275 a game because this is only 12 games. So you're not counting on the 16 because then you're way over. It's 275 per to get to 3,300. Get you the over. That's a lot. But I think that's what this team is going to be as this season goes along. So I don't necessarily think he's going to throw for 275 Saturday, but I do think he's going to have a lot of 300s as this season goes along because I think this team is going to be throwing it all over the field because that's their strength. So I'm going to go over Julian 3299.5.
So I did some research on what quarterbacks have thrown for under Ryan Day. Mm-hmm. And last year, Will Howard, and now I don't know, this is on ESPN, so I don't think this is just the regular season. I think this is everything. Will Howard, just over 4,000. Kyle McCord, just under 3,200. 37 for CJ in his second year, 44 in his first year, 21 for Justin in that shortened season of 2020, and then 32 for Justin in his first year in 2019. I think those are big numbers for a first-year starter. Mm-hmm. And if Ohio State has the same philosophy that they did last year, where they want to try to slow games down and not get as many plays as they did in the past because they know they have, or they hope they have, a 16-game season coming up, I think that will take the opportunities away a little bit. I think Julian is close to this number, but I think he's just under.
So the only Buckeye quarterback in their career who's above this number from career. Now, this is every spot start, you have to go per year. CJ's career was 325. That's nuts. That's what his passing yards average for his career. That's crazy.
That's a game.
Per game, 325. So, and again, this is skewed because some of them played spot duty here and there. The only other one that's kind of like an apples for apples because he started every game he played is Justin Fields, and he was 244.2 over his career. But he ran it a lot. Haskins, again, that number's down because he had, he went into the Michigan game, so he's 245.3. So that kind of gives you that number. It's a big number. 275 per is a lot.
About passing,
they're going to be.
About passing touchdowns for Ohio State signal caller at 30.5.
Well, if I said the 33's over, then the 30.5's got to be over. in the 12. I mean, that's less than 3 per game. It feels like there will be some when he has 5. I mean, that's just what Ohio State quarterbacks do under Ryan. So I'll go over here as well. I'm going to go big on the I'm going to go big on the pass game. I'm going to go big on Sayan benefiting from that philosophy.
So this one, I don't think we're over on this one. I think we're just under. I think it's going to be in the 27, 28, 29 range. I think we're a little under.
How about rush yards in the regular season for James Peoples? Over under at 749.5.
This one might be the hardest.
I think this one is too big. I'm with you. I just have no idea what that room's going to look like. I did take note yesterday when Ryan was speaking and he mentioned Bo Jackson and that they have full confidence in him. It leads me to believe that they found a little bit of success in the sauce last year with the 2. Now, they had 2 NFL backs. They may have 3 NFL backs this year. We just haven't seen them. I think I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go just under because I think they're going to split it up pretty good between him and Donaldson and Bo Jackson. I mean, that was a big moment yesterday in the press conference when he mentioned Bo Jackson in the same breath as James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson. So I'm going to go under. I think they just split it up.
I think James Peoples is really good, and I think he's going to be a star. I just think, like you said, Bo, I think we're going to see a lot of C.J. Donaldson. I think we're going to see quite a bit of Bo Jackson as well. I think it's going to be hard for him to get over 750 when there's going to be so many carries to go around.
How about total receiving yards for Jeremiah Smith? 1,149.5 over or under for 4.
They have so many. It's just 1,200. I mean, it's not even 100 a game. It's just under it. I think they're going to rely on. I think they're going to run I think it's not just going to be deeps. I think they're going to run a lot of things. I think he's going to get a ton of targets. I'm going to go over on Jeremiah.
I think this is the easiest one just because this guy's so talented. He's going over this. He may not have a better year than he did last year, but he'll have at least the same. This receiving room is loaded. The tight end room is loaded, but there's also no Emeka Egbuka either on the other side. So this Jeremiah is over this.
How about receiving yards for the season for Carnell Tate? Over under 799.5.
He's a forgotten man, isn't he? I mean, we talk about Jeremiah all the time. Brandon's a captain, and I think sometimes we forget he's there, which is crazy because he's probably going to be a first-round pick. The problem, though, I think here is the one we're going to do next. So if Jeremiah gets the bulk of the looks and the bulk of the work, to me, the other 3, who I think will be the other 3 primary receivers, will split the rest of it. So I'm going to go under here, but I don't know that that's an indictment, just barely under. That's not an indictment on Carnell at all because I think he's going to be a stud. I just think there's a lot of mouths to feed in the pass-catch game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bo. I think Carnell Tate's a little under here, and this guy's great. He might be a first-round pick. But you've also got Brandon Ennis, Mylan Graham, Quincy Porter, Bryson Rogers, and a loaded tight end room.
That's the one. Go ahead, Reese.
Max Clare, 499.5 receiving yards for the season for the transfer tight end from Purdue.
So this is my second favorite next to Jeremiah. I think this is an easy over. He was in the mid-6s last year. I think he's a complete stud, and I think they're going to rely on him a lot in the middle of the field. So I think he's over 500 pretty easily.
I don't know about pretty easily, but I do think he is over. What is it, Billy Anders? 55 receptions and 671 yards are the all-time numbers for a tight end at Ohio State. I think those might be in jeopardy with Max Clare. I think if he does not get over 500 yards this year, Ohio State has wasted a weapon.
I would agree with that, and I don't think they'll do that. He was 51 for 685 last year at Purdue. Now, obviously, he didn't have to compete for catches the way he is here, but I think he'll be there.
But on the defensive side of the ball, 6.5 sacks for Bo Atkinson, over under.
I'm going to go, I think that's right on it. I could see him with 7. I could see him with 6. Could see him with 8. I'm going to go under, not because he's not going to be great. I just think they're going to rotate all those guys through. They have so much depth there that I think they'll just keep him fresh and just spin him through. So I don't know that I still think he's going to be great. I just think that they're just going to rotate through.
I'm with you, Bo. I think he's just under this. I think it's really close. You're going to see a lot, though, of Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, C.J. Hicks. These guys are going to be in and out of the game. I just don't think he can quite get to 7.
How about total tackles for Sonny Styles at 79.5?
What did he end up with last year?
I wanted to say he got 100 last year.
But that's 16 games. I think that he and Arvell are going to be just stars. I'm going to go slightly under, though, because I just think that's going to get spread around a lot. I think the tackles are going to get spread around a lot. I think that room is ready to just burst on the scene. So I'm going to have, I think it's right on it. And we have Arvell next at 75.5. To me, they both feel like they'll have 75 tackles.
So I'm just doing some quick math here on Sonny. It looks like in the playoff run, he had 24 tackles. So that would put him at 76. I think he's over. I think we're going to see Sonny Styles be a monster this year. I think he goes over that number.
You'd mentioned Arvell Reese, 75.5, over under.
Over.
I think Arvell's just a shade under. Just a shade under. This is going to be really close.
Yeah, these numbers are good.
We'll do 2 for 2. Caleb Downs, 67.5 tackles and 2.5 interceptions. Over under.
I think he's under the tackles, over the interceptions. I just think the linebacking core is so good this year that there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for him on the back end to clean up. But I think we don't have a tackle for loss number for him, but I think that's over, and I think the interceptions is over. I think he's going to be a monster.
I think Caleb is over on both. I think Matt Patricia is sleeping really well at night, knowing that all the things he can do with number 2 this year. I think Matt Patricia is going to have so much fun scheming up defenses for number 2 this year. I think it's a monster year for Caleb Downs.
It would be interesting to revisit these numbers after Saturday to see if we changed our view of what those things will look like after what we see Saturday, because there are just so many unknowns about this roster. Jake Trotter in 2 minutes. He wrote an incredible piece on Coach Day. What did he learn? Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Parents, are your teens good with money?
No.
Switch to Huntington Bank and let's teach them. They get their own card, which they can add to their digital wallet, and you can monitor and set spending limits. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better, because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
The dog days are the best days to save at Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 25 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport, just $399 a month with 0 down. New 25 F-150 or Lightning Flash, only $499 a month with 0 down. Visit our newest location in Marysville or CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
48-month lease, all factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. 7,500 miles per year, 25 cents per mile. Excludes $387 down payment. $395 disposition fee at lease. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed it is, and away we go, buddy. He joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I heard you at the press conference yesterday, so football season officially here. Incredible piece with Coach Day that you wrote. What did you learn about Ryan that maybe you didn't know before?
Well, yeah, season is here, Bo. It's good that we finally made it. What did I learn? I think that, kind of what motivates him, what moves him. We can always speculate and guess, but I thought, the two things that really stood out to me that you didn't really know was, when he thinks about that national championship now, he's not thinking about the obstacles they overcame or the pressure that he was under or the criticism. And, I showed you guys, but it was all the memories from fans. I mean, I thought that was like the most interesting thing he said is when he was just going through stories of fans coming up to him and saying, I got to see the national championship with my grandfather before he passed away, or me and my son, traversed an ice storm to make it down to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl to see Jack, scoop and score to win the game. All those memories, you kind of get a sense of, what it's all about for him. And then I think the other thing, that really stood out is, what matters is that he continues to have an opportunity to coach players and impact players. And he knows that if he doesn't win championships, like eventually that opportunity is going away. And that's kind of what drives him as well. Obviously, he's competitive and he wants to win and he wants to beat Texas and Michigan and win the national championship. But, he also knows that if he wants to keep doing this, then he's got to keep winning. And I think that cycle is what really drives him. So it was a really good conversation. It was fun to catch up with Jack Sawyer and Will Howard as well for that story. And, he's the first one to point out, like, we lose Saturday, I'm going to hear about it. But that's what makes this place unique and special. And it's just different than anywhere else. And I really believe that. Like, I think the pressure that the coach at Ohio State operates under is unlike anything we have in college football, in large part because of the intensity of the Michigan game, and then also just when it falls on the calendar and the caliber of both programs. The only rivalry that we have anymore where both teams are on a historical equal plane, probably Red River, Oklahoma and Texas. But that game's played in October. Yeah. So you lose that game, you can come back and bounce back and fans kind of move on. You lose to Ohio State, you lose to Michigan, it's at the end of the year, and it people stew, it weighs on you, and it's tough to bounce back from. So you got to give a lot of credit to Ryan Day and the Buckeyes for the way that they bounced back, because I didn't know how they were going to respond. I don't think anybody knew until that first quarter against Tennessee when they scored touchdowns on their first three drives.
You're exactly right. And the thing that makes this one so different, this job so different, everything you said is on point, and it's interesting to hear it from a perspective of somebody who covered Oklahoma, because I mean, there are certain programs around the country that you look at and go, okay, that's kind of similar. But the difference here is this state only has the Buckeyes. There isn't Auburn. Yeah. There isn't Oklahoma State. There isn't Texas A&M. There isn't. It's just Ohio State. That's it. And so you have the whole pressure of the whole state is on you too. One thing that I saw from Ryan last year, I equated it kind of this way. He got punched right in it was a knockout blow that Michigan delivered. And he was woozy, but he got up and punched back, and we saw a different Ryan Day going forward. Do you think the Ryan Day that we saw through last season is now who he is going forward?
I think we're gonna find out, and I think that a lot changed with Ryan and the state of the program from the Michigan game to now, and really through that 3-week run through the national championship. I don't know that Ohio State gets to the level that they got to if they don't lose to Michigan. Like, it's weird to say that I think there's a scenario where maybe they beat Michigan and don't win the national title because that adversity, forced them to change some things. It forced them to come together. I wrote about it in the piece. They had this 3-hour meeting. I think it was Tuesday after the Michigan game, and there's no assistants. It's just the players and Ryan Day and some of the seniors on that team go around and talk. And, I mean, they're calling each other out. They're calling Coach Day out. Different position groups and players are having to explain themselves. And why did we run this against Michigan? And why are we running this way? And why don't we do this? And you just saw them come together after that meeting and again, reach a level that we kind of been waiting for, but didn't know that they were going to get to. And I don't know that they get to if they don't lose to Michigan. So, yeah, I think, listen, as Ryan put it, you get a lot of credibility when you win a big one. You don't get the benefit of the doubt always, especially if you're an outsider and you're not a proven head coach, which Ryan wasn't when he took over the job. But you win the big one, even at Ohio State, where that's the expectation every year. You get a level of credibility with the fan base that you didn't have before. And I know some fans are probably still not happy with him. I don't know if they ever will be, even if he beats Michigan this year, because the standard is so high and the expectations are so high at Ohio State. But listen, there's only 5 coaches that have won national championships.
Yep.
And Urban, how many did Urban win?
Yeah.
How many did Jim Tressel win?
It's one.
Other than Woody, everybody just won one. So that alone puts him in pretty elite company with Paul Brown, Tressel, Urban. Only Woody, stands alone at this point.
Have you? Obviously, we have no point of reference on a game like this to open. We've never had this number 1 against number 2. Like no one's ever opened this way. We've had defending national champion host the number 1 team before. That happened in '88. That happened between Florida State and Miami, and the defending national champ put it on Florida State 31-0 in that one. So we've never had an opener like this, but we've had big games early in the season before. What do you expect to see Saturday?
What's weird about this game, Bo, is you're right. Like number 1 versus number 2. I mean, there have been games like this in the past, but you're right. I don't know if we've had like 1 versus 2, at least in the coaches poll. And yet, I feel like I don't really know a whole lot about either team. What do we know about Julian Sand? We're about to find out. What do we know about Arch Manning? I don't know. We're about to find out. There's 8 new starters defensively for the Buckeyes. The Texas's entire receiving core is like a question mark. The running backs that are back didn't play last year. Both teams, to me, are like super talented, but they have a lot of questions. Ryan Day said the other day or yesterday that his team is so young. They went through an entire mock game Saturday where they even sung the fight song in Carmen, Ohio at the end. That's how inexperienced this team is. So, yeah, I mean, I think both teams have as good a shot as anyone to win the national championship. If you're asking me today who I would pick to win it all, I'd pick Texas just because they've been knocking on the door and it feels like this is their year. But either team could win it all. And I think what's going to be fun about this game is we're just going to find out a lot about both teams. We kind of know what Penn State is, right? We kind of know what to expect from Penn State. I don't know what to expect from Ohio State and Texas because the quarterbacks, even though they're former 5-star guys and we're super hyped, we just have not seen them in this type of setting. Arch Manning has played a little bit. He's never started a road game before.
No. And the thing that I keep coming back to in the back of my head from the Ohio State perspective is Ryan Day did not go add a quarterback in the portal. He didn't bring competition in. He liked the room. This team, as I look at it, Jake, last year, obviously, they would bludgeon you with the 2 backs. This feels to me, by the time we get to November, by the time you play the Penn State game, the Michigan game, that this will be a really pass-happy Buckeye football because that's their strength. It's in the offensive line. It's in the receivers. We've never had a tight end room like this down here. We've never had that. And so, to me, that tells me, I always think of his actions as much as his words. And to me, he must love Julian.
Yeah. And listen, this was a real competition. Coming out of the spring, Lincoln, made it really tough. I think the upside and the ceiling of Julian and the talent, quite frankly, ultimately won the day. This is a different quarterback than Will Howard. Not only is he inexperienced, but, he's in the pocket, quick release. He's not, nowhere near the size of Will Howard. So it is going to be different. And, Will Howard brought a certain, type of physicality in the run game, which they were looking for, and really was a good match with the way Chip Kelly likes to call offense. Yeah, this is going to be different. And, it's an awesome receiving core. Max Clare, get ready. He's going to get a ton of targets, especially I think early on in the season as they kind of work their way into the game with the new quarterback. But, yeah, I tell you what, what's going to be fun in the coming years? Julian Sayin versus Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new quarterback rivalry of college football, I think.
Yeah, it's coming in a very big way. I'll get you out of here on this one. How do you think this goes on Saturday? How do you think do you think this will be a clean game? What do you expect to see by 4:00? What's the headline here?
I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I think it's going down to the wire, and it's going to come down to which quarterback plays best in the fourth quarter. That's what I think ultimately happens in this game. So I think it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to get down there. It's going to be fun. Speaking of which, Bo, I was in Columbus this past weekend, and I got a bone to pick with you because I was kumbadi at this wedding. Dave and Maria, congratulations to them at Annunciation in Columbus. I'm getting ready to enter the reception hall. I told my wife, this is the dance move we're going to do because they're playing music. I'm going to, spin her, not make a fool of myself. And they, what they play when I walk in, Bo? I do. Humiliating me. Tell everybody. Humiliating me in front of the entire wedding.
So I got a email from, I believe, the groom.
Correct.
I believe the groom months ago, 6 months ago. Jake's in our wedding. We'd like to use the open that you use on the show to introduce him at the wedding. And I said, go nuts. Nothing would please me more. So they did it. It happened. I didn't know it was last weekend. That's awesome.
It happened, and I was totally surprised, and I was blushing and embarrassed. And for about 20 minutes until, I got to the bar, I was super annoyed with you. But I got over it. I'm fine now. By the way, I'll be stopping by Annunciation, I think, this weekend for the if I get out of Ohio Stadium in time for the Greek Festival. They were cooking some food when I was up there. So
lovely.
Yeah, we had a blast, and I thought you were looking out for me. I know better now, but I'll be on the alert next time.
That was the easiest "yes, please do" I've ever sent in an email. That was the easiest ever, buddy. Good talking to you. Enjoy the game. It's going to be a scene, man.
Yep, can't wait. See you, Bo.
All right, there he goes. Jake Trotter, senior college football writer at ESPN. Read his story on Coach Day. Go to ESPN, read it. It's incredible access about who your head coach is at Ohio State. We get Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $404 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar.
the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Right now in Washington, there's a fight going on to make life more affordable and bring back American jobs. Some play politics and some want to get things done. Senator John Husted is cutting through the noise, putting Ohio first. The new tax bill delivers for working families and helps small businesses hire and grow right here in Ohio. Tell John Husted, keep fighting for Ohio families and small businesses. Paid for by Senate Opportunity Fund.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways, from overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing. I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So it was about a week ago where Cracker Barrel unveiled their new logo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, less than a week, Cracker Barrel is going back to the old man in the barrel. The Barrel announced Tuesday it will return to that logo in a post on social media. They said, quote, "We thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain." The Tennessee-based chain, which has more than 650 locations in 44 states, lost almost $100 million in market value in the last 7 days. On Tuesday morning, President Trump even called on the Barrel to scrap its new logo, which it did, and he congratulated them. Thing or not a thing?
I don't understand how you could lose $100 million in market value on a logo. I mean, that just seems insane to me that would be the case. This is the world we live in now, right? Outrage. And look, does it matter to me? Would it have mattered to me? No. I also think that, like, it's one of those things that whoever is responsible for that change and the misread of what that brand is probably ought to be out of a job. I mean, I think that probably feels like the minimum thing, because I think we would all blush if we knew, like, the amount of money that was spent to come up with this new logo. It would probably make it very difficult to sleep tonight if you actually knew that number. But I think kind of a predictable thing. This is where we are now. We're an outraged society, USA. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah, this really isn't a thing, quite frankly, unless you have stock in Cracker Barrel. If you have stock in Cracker Barrel, maybe, hopefully you're hoping it gets a bounce back here. I don't understand all of the outrage just over changing a logo, quite frankly. No. Like, is their food still good? Can I still go in there and get candy and trinkets that I can't get anywhere else? Like, and do they still have the T-Peg game? Like, that's all I really care about. That's all I care about. Is the sourdough bread still good? Because it was always delicious there. And, this isn't a thing. And listen, I hate government in sports. Like, we don't need government officials tweeting about Cracker Barrel. Come on. Like, what do we do? Aren't there bigger issues, bigger fish to fry?
There are.
Some would argue there's no bigger issue than the sanctity of the Cracker Barrel.
Here's the thing, though, that has to be remembered with this. There's obviously something trending the wrong way in that business that led to the change. So it was trending wrong. If it was the behemoth it was 20 years ago, you wouldn't be doing this. So there was something in their process that led them to do this. So in the end, maybe they win because they get the attention of it, and now they're back, and maybe they win in an odd way.
And we all win because they're selling booze now.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's smart.
On the most recent episode of the College Game Day podcast, Reese Davis revealed that they were asked by Kansas State and Iowa State to refrain from the term Farmageddon during coverage of their Week 0 game in Dublin, Ireland.
We got a directive that the powers that be, I guess, for the institutions and perhaps from the conference, they weren't big fans of that moniker of Farmageddon. And I don't really understand why, because when something that's not a rivalry historically that's at the forefront of the college football consciousness, and you have a really cool name like that, it's not meant in a derisive way. It's a fun way, because you just mentioned that's in their DNA. It's part of their charter. It's what and they've done wonderful and magnificent things in that field, and it becomes a fun way to identify the game. And, hopefully people won't send emails like that anymore and take away things that make it memorable.
A friend of the program and CBS Sports college football reporter Shihan Jayaraja, he confirmed the request not to use Farmageddon came from the schools and not the Big 12. Thing or not a thing?
This is people saying, we're Iowa State, we're more than farms. We're Kansas State, we're more than farms. That limits us. They should go the other way. Because that's exactly what those two schools are. Reese is 100% right. I would have leaned into this as big as possible. I don't understand this at all, that you wouldn't want. I know why this happened, but I also think it's very short-sighted.
Yeah, this is
a stupid thing.
This is dumb. Like, you have a rivalry and a name, and it's been that way forever, and I don't think too many people actually knew the name of it. More people should have known. You should have leaned into this a long time ago and had people know, hey, this is Farmageddon. This means something. Come watch this game. That's ridiculous that they would try to shy away from that.
Colin Cowherd was a recent guest on the Joel Klatt Show and gave his thoughts on the seat heat of USC's Lincoln Riley.
I think I've told you this before. The NIL, these coaches that all hate it, it actually makes many of the coaches unfireable. Because if I'm spending $18 million on players, you can't go to a booster and go, hey, by the way, can you buy out Lincoln Riley for $72 million and pay the next coach $80 million? And he's like, I'm already giving you $7 million a year for players. Lincoln Riley's unfireable. I mean, Brian Kelly, you can't run him out of town. They're struggling to make NIL payments. USC just spent $300 million on the facility, $18 million on NIL. But Jen Cohen's going to go, you know what? I want an $80 million check for Lincoln and then $80 to hire his replacement. Lincoln's safe.
Thing or not a thing?
He's 100% right. He is 100. He's had a lot of wild takes in recent years. This one is spot on, and it's something we talk about a lot because it all comes from the same bucket, doesn't it? Every bit of this comes from the same bucket because there is no rev share, and so the only way that they can do it is it's all booster driven. So you build a new facility, booster driven. You build an NIL up, booster driven. You're going to fire coaches, booster driven. They don't have it in their budgets for this stuff. So he's right on this, and we saw this coming.
It's an interesting thing from him and something I never really thought of about the firing of coaches. I will say this, though. If a school really, really cares about football, and they don't want to be mediocre or they do not want to be losing, they will find a way. They will get rid of the guy and bring someone new in.
Yeah, they will. All right, final hour up next. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Time to get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. You can also do so on the YouTube chat. And at the bottom of the hour, 11:30, Craig Way, play-by-play voice of the Texas Longhorns, will join us. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Select varieties of Kroger brand cheese are on sale. 6 to 8 ounce packs are $1.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino.
Mikey, it's time for the ultimate fan experience. You could win tickets to the big home team game.
Legal?
Oh, legal.
Why illegal?
Legal. Against a team that wears orange on August 30th.
It all goes down Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 7. All you have to do is use your Penn Play card or the Penn Play app during the month of August.
And you can win a bunch of other prizes as well. The more you play, the more opportunities you have to win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A gambler.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 3 Ohio State is a 1.5 favorite, hosting top-ranked Texas in 3 days, Saturday, August 30th. It'll be a high noon kick from the shoe. We'll have live fan pregame coverage right across from Ohio Stadium Saturday morning at 8:30. You'll hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. Week 1 of the college football season officially begins Thursday. Several Ohio State opponents play tomorrow night. Rutgers hosts Ohio University at 7. Nebraska plays Cincinnati in Kansas City tomorrow night at 9. In the NFL, the Carolina Panthers sent veteran wide receiver Adam Thielen, a 5th and a 6th-round pick in 2027, to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 5th-round pick in 26 and a 4th-round pick in 2027. And in baseball, the Reds look to avoid the series sweep, battling the Dodgers tonight in Los Angeles. First pitch there is 8:40. You can hear Red Legs baseball on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little Hey Guys on the first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Absolutely. The winner here gets the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour, and the tasting for up to 10. Stop by High Bank's 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, Westerville. Enjoy the award-winning spirits for your next happy hour. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
All right, we'll start on Twitter, and this is really more of just a statement. Most of these are really supposed to be questions, but Senor Wamser says, "Hey guys, my birthday is August 30th. It's the Ohio State-Texas game. I was conceived on an Ohio State-Michigan game in 1987 and born August 30th of 1988, usually right around when the season starts." He adds, "It's extra special when game 1 is actually on my birthday. Hashtag Go Bucks." So happy birthday.
Hold on.
That's amazing.
The when I was conceived is a wild thing to wrap your head around. How does that get known? Do you ask that? Is that volunteered to you? Do you throw up immediately upon hearing the detail?
And wasn't that Earl Bruce's last one? Or was 88 his last one? I'm guessing they were celebrating. I'm guessing they were celebrating Earl.
Because 88 was Cooper's first year?
Going out in style.
So that would, because that would be the, that's the Earl headband game. Yeah.
Like, that had to be just a bathroom at whatever party they were watching the game, just excited that Earl went out with a win.
Jeez.
Let's do some questions.
There you go.
Hunter asks on Twitter, "Hey guys, I need some tips on how to navigate a watch party on Saturday that we RSVP'd to that's going to include double-digit adults and at least 6 kids under the age of 4.
Jeez. The kids are going to scramble so that, they're out of the mix. I'll be honest with you, I don't do... For games I care about, I don't do parties. I'm locked in. Even my own kids, I'm sometimes okay, leave. Kindly leave. Sometimes I do that. So, I would never have put myself in the position that you're putting yourself in. I would get out of that immediately. Short of that, there needs to be some conversation with whoever is hosting the party about 2 separate viewing areas, and hopefully the house has multiple televisions. There needs to be one viewing area for the folks who want to talk about little Timmy's school and a viewing area for the kids to run around and play football and do that stuff. And then there needs to be like, hey, this is the real football folks. We're watching here. So that's would be my recommendation to you. I think you got to have a conversation with the homeowner and say, hey, we got to have a 2 TV setup here. One for the people who are going to be locked in and one for the people who are going to be doing other things.
Bo, you are spot on this. Like, I'm trying to get out of it as much as I can personally, but there's got to be like an upstairs and a downstairs where people that really want to watch the game can be, and everybody else. Make sure you have things, bring things with you to keep the kids occupied.
Yeah.
And out of the way. And Bo, I'm the same way. If it's a game I really, really care about,
yeah,
like there's only certain places I want to watch it. And even like last year during the playoff when we were having the watch parties at Hollywood Casino, and you can ask AR and Scotty about this, like they're all at the table where all the people are, and I'm back behind them at like a little server booth where they like roll silverware, and I'm by myself with my notepad and my highlighter just writing things down and taking notes.
That's right. That's how I am too. Yeah.
Dustin asks on the YouTube chat, hey guys, don't have tickets to the game, but bringing my kids to Columbus just to take in the atmosphere. He says, I have zero experience doing this, and then asks, can you guys map out a route to see it all? Game day set visit is a must.
This is the only negative, and I saw the great Steve Hillwagon tweeting about this in terms of leaving Ohio Stadium and how tricky it is to get out of there, depending on where you park and all of that. Just bring your walking shoes, man. Just bring your walking shoes. If you don't have reserved parking, which it sounds like he probably doesn't, you're going to want to get there really early, and you're just going to walk a long, long ways. For 105,000 people, there isn't a lot of parking. And so you're going to be, you could end up somewhere around Jesse Owens, who knows? But just bring your walking shoes, and that would be it. I think where you're going to want to be is all around St. John and all of that stuff. I would hit the Skull Session for sure. I would make sure I'm spotted up perfectly and posted up perfectly when the players walk by to go down the tunnel, or down the ramp, all of that. But I just bring your walking shoes. And game day is usually north side of the stadium. The Fox Big Noon guys are that southeast corner is where they'll be. So that kind of gives you an idea for it. But man, bring walking shoes, buddy, because you're going to be hoofing it.
So you got kids with you, so I'm guessing you're not going to be able to enjoy the O1 Lane and Riverwatch Towers and Varsity Club and all that, but definitely walk down Lane Avenue. Take in the atmosphere, all the people out tailgating and the partying. You got to hit Skull Session. That starts about 10:30, I think, 10:30, 10:45. Make sure you hit Skull Session and watch the players walk out. And then just right outside of St. John's there, between St. John's and the stadium, is game day set up. Go see game day. Go see AR and Biddle and Tim May and those guys, because they'll be right around there as well. And just enjoy all of it. Just enjoy taking it all in.
So in terms of a schedule, you might want to be in St. John Arena by about 10 o'clock.
I think so.
Just so you can get probably the best spot and kind of corral your kids in the best area. Our tailgate show starts at 8:30. So if you're at St. John Arena by 8:30, you'll be able to see that kickoff. And then that'll get you closer to game day. I would say the best time to be at a game day is right when it opens. It's right when it goes on television. So at 9 o'clock, you're right there for between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. You're with our area in the Fan Fest, which is for kids. That includes the fan tailgate show. And then at 9 a.m., you'll be close enough to the college game day to get the opening kind of crescendo of it all. That'll help you get over to St. John Arena for the Skull Session at about 10 o'clock. So in terms of a time thing, that whole area between about 8 and 11 is probably the best case scenario. Then it'll be pretty quiet, around 11:30 once you get in at noon. But you can be around the stadium to kind of see to hear what would be the victory bell ringing to signal the team's entrance into the stadium. Obviously, exiting the Skull Session, you'll be able to walk with the team into Ohio Stadium. In terms of parking, I'm not sure how much more they've cracked down on it, but in previous years, you've been able to park. I would say this is west of North Star Road in Upper Arlington, and then walk towards campus from there.
Yeah, it's hoofing it, man. If you're not reserved,
you're doing a lot of walking.
Do they still have the buses that will take you from areas over there down into campus? And
here's the other thing too with game day, which I don't know, because obviously this will be Corso's last.
Right.
It's the last one, so he'll put on Brutus. Like, spoiler alert. He started with Brutus. He's going to end with Brutus. Otherwise, he would have went to the alma mater. He would have done Alabama, Florida State, which is a game that's on their network. So he's going to put on the Brutus head. What I'm curious about is if they will move inside the stadium for that, for a game that starts at noon on Fox. They do that for the Michigan game, but I'm curious if they move inside the stadium for that too. Because you're right. If they do, then you have to be there for the beginning of game day. That's when it's at its peak, is right at the beginning.
Mr. Gobucks asks, hey guys, who are you more excited to see on Saturday, Jeremiah Smith or Caleb Downs?
Well, Jeremiah is more noticeable. Remember we had this conversation, Reese, last year when Tyvus would come on with us on Mondays and we would break down what we saw from a film standpoint. And one of the things that became abundantly clear was that when I got access to the All-22, that's when I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because on television, sometimes you can't see all of the things he does, but in the All-22, you do. It's Jeremiah. I mean, he had the most, what an opening act. And he's such a weapon that's so obvious that to me feels like how they use him this year is going to be fascinating. The targets amount, all that stuff is going to be fascinating.
So it's funny we had this question because on Sunday, during Fan Sports Sunday, Dylan Tyre and I did our top 5 Buckeyes we're most excited to see in this opener. I did not have Jeremiah on mine just because I kind of know what Jeremiah is, right? Mm-hmm. And the same with Caleb Downs, but what I don't know about Caleb Downs is what it looks like in a Matt Patricia defense.
That's a good point.
So against Texas, I am super excited to watch Caleb Downs and see just what Matt Patricia does with him.
That's probably the biggest big brain matchup in the whole thing, is Patricia and Downs versus Sark and Arch.
Yep. I can't wait for that.
That's the one right there.
Real quick, I wanted to get this. Kane asks on the YouTube, what's the best time zone for watching sports? He says he moved to Mountain Time 2 years ago, so he might be a little biased, but it feels perfect. You get primetime games at 6 o'clock. You're in bed by 10:30. College football, 10 a to 10 p. Baseball at 5 p.m.
He's 100%. That's where I grew up, in Mountain Time. You want to put your head in a pretzel? Understand this, that it's certainly, I don't know if it's this way anymore, but when I was a kid, you kind of set your day to the evening news. So you'd watch the evening news, and in Mountain Times, it's at 10. So my dad would watch the first segment of the evening news, and then everybody went to bed in the house. So by 10:15, all lights were out in the house. Then you move to the East, and I was in television at the time, and we're doing the news at 11 o'clock. And I'm still getting up at 6:20. I'm getting an hour less sleep than my dad got all those years. He was in bed by 10:15. He was up at 6:20. He was getting 8 hours every single night. It was just a totally different thing. And from the sports perspective, it's a layup. It's easily the best is Mountain. It's perfection, man.
I think that's right. The only thing I would say is, I remember when we were out in Kansas City for my buddy's wedding, and obviously Ohio State's always at big noon now. Mm-hmm. If you want to go somewhere and watch the game, some of those places may not be open yet. I remember the place that we went into, they weren't quite open.
Yeah.
They were opening right when the game started, so they let us come in a little early and get seated and everything. But it's one thing if you're going somewhere to watch.
It's a fair point. In college, I never saw the opening of College Game Day. 8 a.m. on a Saturday? No. That's when it was 10. I mean, can you imagine 7 a.m. College Game Day start in Mountain Time? 6 a.m. in Pacific? Pacific's a bit too much. Mountain is the perfect, though. It is perfect to have your stuff all done, your games all done, and you have the whole day ahead of you. It's nice.
Rough mornings usually follow good nights, Bo.
They do. They do. Yes, most of the time that they do. We mentioned Lee Corso and putting on the. We got to do a winner. Whose birthday was it? We had a birthday. Let's give him a birthday gift.
All right, Senior Wamser.
Congratulations.
Wamser.
Congratulations, Senior, and happy birthday. You get the $50 gift card to High Bank, the free distillery tour, and the tasting for up to 10. Highbankco.com. Drink local, drink high bank. Coming up next, Lee Corso. One last time he'll throw on Brutus. I'm certain of that. His impact on the sport, and how does game day go about replacing him? And is this why you're getting into this war with the pregame between Fox and ESPN in terms of watch us now? The future of it. Coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Make your long summer holiday weekend a good deal better by stocking up on your favorites during the Buy 5, Save 5 sale at Meijer. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more when you mix or match over 2,000 items store-wide, like Meijer shredded or chunk cheese, 24 packs of select Coca-Cola and Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable, Brawny paper towels and Dixie Family Pack paper plates and bowls. The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer. That's the good life, a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life. Get a free second opinion, replace or repair. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story. Not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This month at Lindsay Honda, our famous Cash for Clunkers continues during our Honda summer event. Get up to $3,500 minimum for your trade and use it for a down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Only at Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Other stations in town have started using AI voices. It's because they're cheap and they think you're stupid. Well, we may think you're stupid, but we don't think you're cheap, damn it. We're live and local with real people. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot more sunshine today after a chilly start. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-70s across central Ohio, and then for tonight, partly cloudy with our lows down in the mid to low 50s. For Thursday, we will have a chance of showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. Otherwise, we'll see some increasing clouds, partly sunny skies, and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Week 2 in high school football is here. The Capital Florida Columbus High School Football Game of the Week takes us to Hilliard Friday. Darby hosts Bradley. Coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff at 7. After the game, it's Byers Dublin Subaru Overtime with Bake and Lee Cochran. Friday nights are for high school football on the Fan. On the way to school today, I was taking Beamsy and NBC, and Beamsy said to me, what's going to happen when Lee Corso stops putting on the heads? Because they love it. The two things they love the most about the lead up to games are the picks, which always annoyed me that they never did it against the number, that they just picked them straight up. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Every once in a while you get it from Corso, like a closer than the experts think or whatever, but you wouldn't. To not do it against a number was always so crazy to me that they didn't do that. Like some of these games were so lopsided that they picked. They have tightened it up a little bit, but they said, what's going to happen? And we know that they're not going to do the headgear anymore, and that's a Corso thing. So it's going to go on one more time. It's going to happen here on Saturday. It's going to be a Brutus head. Can't think of any other reason why they're here. I mean, obviously it's 1 versus 2, but it's not on their air. They have several games on their air that they could have been doing, including Florida State and Alabama. And obviously Clemson LSU is right there with our game, is as big a game as there is in week 1. And that's Herb Street's calling that game. So that one would have been the no-brainer, but they're doing it here for it to come full circle. I saw Paul Feinbaum say this, and he'll join us tomorrow at 10:30, yesterday, and I think it's the right way to phrase it. Lee Corso made Saturdays fun by putting on the headgear. And when they made the decision for the Florida State-Notre Dame game in 92 to take it on the road, that flipped it. That changed that show. And that show has been, many have tried to duplicate it. They try on Fox. It's the same. They're trying to create the exact same atmosphere that they have with Game Day. But there was something in the special sauce. And I don't know if it was a producer, if it was Fowler. At that time, it was Fowler, Craig James, and Corso. Whoever decided we have to take this thing on the road every week, that person was brilliant. They tried it in the NFL. I remember when Joe Buck, there was one year when they lost James Brown to CBS where Joe Buck was like the studio show host on Fox until Menifee took over eventually. And they tried taking it on the road to whatever game he was calling. And it's not the same. It's not. There's nothing like a big game on campus. And there's no content piece in sport that sets the tone the way Game Day does. Now, you may be annoyed with some of the various things that happen on it, but you cannot argue that when they're on your campus, there's an atmosphere to it. There's juice to it. When they used to do physical media guides for every college football team, I used to do this is like kind of like a fun little trivia thing for folks. What is the one thing that is in every single college football media guide? And the answer to that was, in every single college football media guide, there was a picture of Game Day on campus. I think College Game Day is a big reason that you have in your community, certainly in mine, I'm sure this is happening in your communities too, an incredible influx of high school kids going to the South for school, going to Clemson, going to Alabama, going to Baton Rouge, going to Ole Miss. It's because it's November and it's chilly here, and you see College Game Day and you see this party in 72 degrees. You go, I want to be a part of that. And I think Corso's in the middle of all of it. And obviously it'll be McAfee with it is the way that they're going to do it going forward. But there is no way to ever duplicate an elderly man putting on a mascot head or grabbing a rifle or holding Sir Big Spur, all of the things that he's done through the years, it's timeless and it's perfect. And it was the perfect way to end it. It was the perfect way to end it.
I am not as confident as you that he's going to put on Brutus, but I was confident that when they announced it would be week 1 of the college football season, his last college game day, that they would have it at Ohio State and Texas. And more so because that's the game of consequence in the week 1 slate of several very consequential games. This was the one, and this was the one where kind of college game day started for, I think, everybody in the country. I mean, as a kid growing up, as a kid in college, 9 a.m. Eastern time, like you were right there waiting for everything that they were doing. I mean, the original team of Fowler, Herbstreit, and Corso, there's not going to be
Craig James, Reese. It was Craig James first.
I don't remember him.
Oh yeah,
on that set with
before
them.
Your time. But no, he was the first guy, and then CBS got the NFL back, and then they hired Craig James. He was like the star, so they hired him, and then they had like an audition for it, and Herbie got the gig. He was doing like arena football stuff, and he's working at Channel 10 on Wall to Wall Sports.
But those three that I remember, that show, that traveling circus, there's not going to be anything like that. Like, they'll never be able to recapture that kind of magic. And so it's good when I hear that Corso's not going to, or they're not going to be doing any more headgear, because that was strictly Lee Corso. And so now it is time to find something and to try to throw whatever you can at the wall, like a McAfee, like a Desmond Howard, and see what sticks. But nothing will be able to properly, in my mind, replicate that.
So, Reese, I'm with you. Bo, I'm not as convinced that he's putting Brutus on. I think I'm probably about 95% convinced. But I do think there's nothing like the villain in the crowd when he puts on the away team. And everybody thinks he's picking Ohio State because that was the first headgear pick. I remember, Bo, you were convinced it was going to be Florida State and Alabama for his final game, too.
I thought they'd send him home.
So I'm not all the way there convinced that it's definitely Ohio State. They shouldn't try to duplicate this, right? Like, this was a one-of-a-kind thing. I mean, it came up with a little idea like, hey, you think your wife can get them to give us the headgear into something that happened every week and all of us were waiting for. There were times I wouldn't watch game day, but I would try to flip over at 11:55 just to see the end and the picks. I think they've got there next. I think they've handled this so perfectly with bringing McAfee in towards the end while Corso wasn't there as much, but he was still there for the headgear. And I think what they have with McAfee is their perfect next, right? Like, he has that whole, I don't know if it's soliloquy, but he gets up there and he'll like sing the fight song. And
it's a professional wrestling.
He gets the fans going one way and then he goes the other. And I just think they've transitioned this perfectly. And I'm with Reese and you. Like, I'm glad they're not trying to do the headgear with somebody else, because it just wouldn't be right and genuine.
No, there's a tone to it that was undefeated, and it'll be missed. It's going to be missed in a very, very big way. We're going to go behind enemy lines coming up next. The play-by-play voice of your Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, is going to join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy High Bank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's go behind enemy lines with the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Well, we've never seen anything quite like this, have we, my friend? Give me a little sense of the excitement down in Austin for what's going to happen up here in a couple of days.
I think you're spot on, Bo. I like I was telling somebody else the other day, and when I had Paul Keels on my show, we were discussing the excitement and the anticipation level that surrounds this game. And I can say, this is beginning my 38th year on the network and my 25th in the play-by-play seat, and I can never recall that much excitement and anticipation going into a season opener for the Texas Longhorns in this one. And I think there's a lot of things in play about that. The fact that Sark has built this program up, especially over the last couple of seasons, going 25-5. The last 2 years, and being a preseason number one team for the first time ever in school history, I think was big. The fact that these two teams just played in the Cotton Bowl and had a really good semifinal game a year ago, and all of that, plus the excitement that's surrounding the new guy taking the snaps at center. I think all of that stuff kind of weighs into the anticipation of this.
I'll give you credit, buddy. That is probably the least auspicious way anyone's ever described Arch Manning. The new guy taking snaps under center. That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, he's known. Here's the crazy thing, and you know him, and you've seen him do more than we have, obviously. What can you tell us about him, the person? What can you tell us about his ability to be able to handle something that he appears to be kind of raised to do? What do you expect from him Saturday?
Well, that's the $1 million question, or to take a look at his NIL number, the $6 million question. But he's got all those, obviously, the physical gifts and tools, and watching him in practices and then watching him in the scrimmage just make incredible throws. All of that is kind of a given, I think, and folks expected those things and the way that he was trained and bred and all of those kinds of things. But, though I think the most impressive thing about Arch is his demeanor. He's really just a laid-back guy, enjoys the company of his teammates. Now he can get competitive, and it's kind of fun to watch him at times. He and Michael Taft, who's a preseason All-American at safety, get into a little bit of trash talking, good-natured, of course, but they're very close. And he's just got a really good sense of who he is. He's not a big fan of like the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. He understands that it comes with the territory, and he deals with it, I think, really well. But he tries to be really just a regular guy, and I think he is that way around his teammates, and they respect him for that.
Craig, how did the Manning family and Sark manage this so well with him waiting to year 3 to really get to play?
Yeah, I think you start with the family because, they were very plain spoken about what their expectation was for him. And that includes his famous uncles. Peyton had said on several occasions that he really wished he could have redshirted and would have, but for injuries that happened. So he talked about that. Eli, who got a chance to redshirt, said it was very, very helpful for him. So, and I think, obviously, grandfather was in on that as well. And Archie, I think, believed in it. And I just think the whole family was behind that from the moment that Arch landed on campus. They knew there was a plan. They knew there was a mission. They also knew that Quinn Ewers was the guy. And, other than the times when Quinn got banged up, which happened frequently over the past couple of years, And Arch had to be ready last year when he did go into play, and he started a couple of ball games, and he showed some things, but he was still in the developmental stage. And I think everybody understood that was close to the situation. Sark and his offensive staff and A.J. Milwee, who works closely with the quarterbacks, and then the Manning family. They were all on board with it. There were some impatient Longhorn fans that wanted to see him out there a little bit, but they had a plan, and they stayed the course with it. Now all systems are go.
Craig, it's the first family of American football, or certainly on a short list. What is life like for him in Austin?
It's a challenge. I will tell you that. I mean, so many people want to get to know him, and it's difficult for him to walk across campus to do that. But again, he understands that and accepts that it's part of the situation. I will say he doesn't go out that much to places. There are a few little hideaway places that he knows and his teammates know where when he needs a little bit of a break and can escape to grab a burger or something like that, or some barbecue. He knows a few places, and I will give credit to those establishments as well for kind of making it easier for him. There's not a lot of publicity about where he drops into a place if he wants to grab a bite to eat. And I think that helps him, and I think it helps his teammates as well, the ones who are with him.
Talking to legendary play-by-play voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Okay, so how do you anticipate this Longhorn offense being different with Arch versus what we saw the last time these two played in the national semifinal with Quinn?
Well, I think it's safe to say that Arch has a little more of, what is it that coaches like to say, functional mobility in terms of being able to put the ball down and run. So he is more mobile in that respect. But by and large, a lot of what he does is going to be in the offensive system and structure will be very similar to what Quinn was engineering as well. It starts with having a running game. Trey Wisner had over 1,000 yards rushing last year, and they get C.J. Baxter back. He had a freshman campaign that was really impressive and then hurt his knee in the fall camp workout. So he returns. I think it's a two-headed attack there in the backfield. And then in the receiving core, they don't have a Matthew Golden anymore, but Ryan Wingo is an explosive threat. And then they've added through the portal a really capable and productive tight end in Jack Endries, who transferred in from Cal, and he's on the preseason award watch, not only for the Mackey Award for tight end, but even the Biletnikoff Award. So there are targets on whom I think Arch can rely, as well as his own legs and feet. But the most important thing, clearly, will be the symbiotic relationship that he'll have with Sark and the play calling and his decision-making on the field.
And I think that leads to what we're all kind of circling is like the dream matchup here, which is Arch and Sark versus Caleb Downs and Matt Patricia, and how that chess match. I mean, that's as brilliant a minds as you're going to get, the way that chess match is kind of going to be played out. You've called so many massive games in your time on the mic. We've never had one, as I mentioned, open like this. My feeling, kind of, Craig, is that I think this one could be a little clunky early because despite the talent, which is immense on both of these teams, it's a lot of new faces. What do you anticipate the game flow to be like on Saturday?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. And quite often we see defenses ahead of offenses very early in the season. Hey, we all saw that in Dublin, right, with Iowa State and K-State. Although the weather may have had something to do with that also. That's I think something that I think a lot of folks have come to accept, that a lot of times you'll see the offense, the defense be a little bit ahead of the offense. They're two very talented offenses, but two new guys taking regular snaps at quarterback, and the offense trying to find its footing. And as you pointed out, really talented defense as well. Hey, my question to you guys is Coach Patricia going to have the pencil behind the ear? If it works. That's my big question, going into that.
Yeah. Feels like he will.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of folks are looking forward to seeing, like you said, the meeting of the minds there with Patricia doing what he does with the defense, and then obviously what Sark has in terms of his play calling for the offense. But I think Coach Day put it really well in the press conference yesterday. He was pretty much saying, Brian Hartline and Matt Patricia are not going to operate in a vacuum. That But there's they work on these things and have been working on these things. So while they may be the play callers, they're part of a larger team. And I think that's the same way with Texas on both sides of the ball.
If by the time we get to Saturday around 4 o'clock, 3:30, something like that, if it is a Texas victory, what has to happen?
Well, as an adjunct to what we were saying about defenses being ahead of the offense, what's those old things about creating turnovers and staying away from them? For years when I was in Dallas, I did some Dallas Cowboys pregame and postgame shows, and I did Jimmy Johnson's radio call-in show and Jerry Jones's, which, by the way, that documentary brought back a lot of memories of that
was incredible.
Time. And Jimmy used to always say, don't turn over the ball and get you some turnovers. And Sark says it in an even more concise manner. When I ask him about the keys to the game, he laughs if I don't mention is the key to the game, in his words, the ball. That's what he said. The ball. Protect it and see if you can grab it from the opponent a couple of times. So he puts it in pretty simplistic terms.
Craig, I'll get you out of here on this one. How important, because these programs they're kind of like the Spider-Man meme, right? They look exactly like each other. Big, vibrant cities, massive history, big money, tons of talent. They look at each other and they say, boy, that looks a lot like what we are. How important is it for Texas to continue to play games like this? And obviously you get a lot of them in the new SEC and there's a lot of new stuff, but to play teams like Ohio State, played Texas last year, like how important is all of that?
I think it is. I love it. And Sark said he's hoping they're playing a lot more of these. When the SEC announced last week going to a 9-game conference schedule, the thing that might have been kind of lost in some of that was what Greg Sankey, the commissioner, talked about. And he said, we are also mandating that our conference members play at least one Power 4 opponent every year in non-conference play. Now, that caused a bit of scrambling among some schools in terms of future scheduling. Not for Texas. Obviously, the Buckeyes come to Austin next year in the return game. They have Michigan coming back the year afterwards in the return game from last year's game in Ann Arbor. Then they have a home and home in Notre Dame. And then I think Arizona State is. So through their end of the decade, they have at least one Power 4 opponent, but they've kind of done that for the past several years. They've had some big opponents on the non-conference schedule. And I think that's a good thing for college football. And I think it ultimately, especially in this day and time of the 12-team playoff and probably going to expand to 16, I think, before much longer, that you play those games because they're not world beaters. They're not season enders. Whoever drops this game on Saturday is by no means anywhere close to being out of the picture for the 12-team playoff. It's a setback, but then you gather what you learned from it and move on and try to continue your season. I think that's the case for both of these teams. Like you said, mirror images in so many ways. One other thing, too, both are represented state capitals, right?
Yeah.
Austin and Columbus. So you're exactly right. There's a lot of mirror images for these programs going into this game.
Craig, it was a privilege to have you on. I hope our city treats you well as you get up here on Friday and into Saturday. And good luck on the call. Not that you need it. Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Craig Way. He is the play-by-play voice of your Texas Longhorns. He joined on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We got your officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flight Auto Glass. One of the favorite topics to ask you about is selecting captains, and certainly you had a lot of good candidates this year.
We have a great group of guys, and a few years ago we started the leadership program, which we select leaders, and we have a leadership committee in the winter. We then reselect after the spring game for the summer, and by the time we get to selecting captains, everybody knows these guys have been in a situation before where conflict has arisen. They've been in tough spots. Anybody can lead when things are going well. And so, we try to find ways through the weight room, through practice, to create, stressful environments to see how guys respond in those moments. That being said, I think, Caleb, Sonny, Austin and Brandon are all 4 great candidates. They really stepped up this offseason, and they're going to have great seasons for us.
We'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Ryan, is the story of Sonny Styles being the Blocko winner one of the best stories around here?
Yeah, I think so. I grabbed them afterwards and just said, this is a tradition that we started. And there's so many great traditions. That's what makes Ohio State great. One of the great things that makes Ohio State great. But we were able to start something new when the NCAA allowed us to wear the number 0. And when you look at the number 0, it looks like the Blocko. And boy, that's you don't just give that to anybody. And the history with Bill Willis and everything that he did for the game, and how that translated back to Paul Brown and all those things. And so you tell him the story. And he wore 99 here, and this is 0, and so it really represents everybody in between. And also coming from Columbus like Bill did, Sonny Styles, his dad played here, his brother plays here, he's from Columbus. And he's got a lot of pride in the Buckeyes, and I think he's a great candidate for the Blocko Award.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Keep your summer fun going at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now through September 2nd, get a stylish new 25 Corolla with 4.99 APR financing or 5.99 on Corolla Hybrid. Excludes Corolla Cross and GR Corolla. Or lease a gas-powered Corolla LE for $199 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations, in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
You think you know the odds? Picture this. You're at the gas station grabbing 4 delicious taquitos when you see an Ohio lottery ticket with 1 in 4 odds. You think, if I buy 4 in a row, 1's a definite win. Sorry, friend, but you'd be wrong. 1 in 4 odds means across the millions of tickets printed, 1 in every 4 is a winner, but not every 4th ticket since they're randomly distributed across the state. But 4 taquitos? That's a guaranteed win, 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 win. Learn more about common lottery myths at ohiolottery.com/knowtheodds. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, which side of the ball do you have more confidence in for Ohio State in Saturday's contest against Texas? 60% of respondents to the Daily Fan Poll say they have more confidence in the defense, 40% the offense.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. And also, this we danced around it all week, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow and Friday, but, like, this is a Julian game. Like everything else, we just haven't seen him. We've never had a quarterback debut like this. That can't be lost. That's going to be a wild thing to see how he handles all of it. All right, so First Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
Drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
Yeah, this is your Uncle Bo recipe for Saturday success. So noon kick. I am in a bloody beer world, so I'll be damned if I'm going to recommend something that isn't brewed here. I'm going to go garage beer lime bloody. So you can either do that with Bloody Mary mix, get a little bit of that on there, throw that little bit of that in there. I like Clamato the best. Another one you can do straight up tomato juice. That's your jumping off point. Then you consume the game, and then post game, you go with our good friends at High Bank, and you go the Whiskey War Double Oaked. That's your sip and treat post. So that's going to be my game plan for Saturday.
Kind of surprised you didn't go cigar cast, because hopefully we're celebrating a win.
It wouldn't be that would have been a nice job there had I done that. That works too. But anything in the Whiskey War line as a celebratory would be a very big win. Time for 3 things on a First Friday.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me, I saw the Ryder Cup team just released. I was so optimistic that Keegan Bradley would do what I want. And what I wanted was to see Brooks Koepka on this team, and what I wanted was to see him as a playing captain. Neither of those things happened. No Koepka, no Keegan. He didn't understand the assignment. This is Beth Page. You need to have Koepka, who's got that little bit of jerk in him, and you needed Keegan. They needed to play.
Yeah, Keegan, this will become my first thing. Keegan's the first captain in 62 years to not be a playing captain. He said he finalized the roster last week, so he kind of made that decision early, at least middle of the month, that he was not going to be participating, but he will be the captain of this team, and he named Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Sam Burns, the captain's picks, joining Scotty Scheffler, J.J. Spawn, Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Harris English, and Bryson DeChambeau as the qualifiers next month, like you said, at Bethpage Black.
It needed to have him, and it needed to have Koepka.
It definitely needed him. He's been on a roll. He's been one of the best players in the world here recently. First thing for me, I've said many times on this show that Kelsey Mitchell is the best female basketball I have ever seen in player. With my own eyes, being there, watching her play. Pretty cool milestone for her last night. She scored 38 points in the Indiana Fever game, but it was a 3-pointer in the first quarter that let her surpass Caitlin Clark, whose team record of 769 points was set last year. Kelsey Mitchell now the single-season scoring leader for the Indiana Fever.
She's a stud. She just is. And has done Buckeyes proud for a very long time. This is from the second she stepped on campus. Number 2 for me, first 8th grade football game for NBC tonight. They had a game canceled last week because one of the teams didn't have enough kids to field a team, so he gets his debut tonight. Middle school is so different than youth sports in terms of the lack of games and all of this stuff, and so the thing that was pretty cool is like he was having Beamsy like help him get like his swag game right, so I thought that was fun this morning. So good luck to NBC and the boys tonight.
As we had said earlier in the program, lost in the nonsense of the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift engagement was Major League Baseball's 26 season schedule reveal. They're going to start next year on March 25th. The Giants are going to be hosting the New York Yankees. The other 28 clubs are going to go on March 26th. That's a day earlier than the league's previous earliest opening day. But you're going the wrong way, Major League Baseball. You don't need to start on March 25th. I mean, yeah, you're starting out in San Francisco. The Guardians are starting out in Seattle. But the Reds are going to be playing the Red Sox in Cincinnati March 26th. How do we think that weather's going to go?
It's ridiculous. Bad job out of them. I know football for the Buckeyes is starting on Saturday, but we're not that far away from Blue Jackets hockey. I saw this last night. CBJ night at the Columbus Clippers happens Thursday, September 4th. They're taking on Indianapolis. It's also a Thirsty Thursday. Pretty cool replica jerseys that the Clippers are doing with, instead of the star in the middle of the jackets, it's a Columbus Clippers pirate ship. And the jerseys look just like the CBJs. That's pretty cool. Also, CBJ's national broadcast schedule was released today. They have 4 games on ESPN Plus and Hulu and 2 games on ESPN, those being Thursday, March 5th against the Florida Panthers and Tuesday, April 14th against the Washington Capitals.
All right, there you go. And we're up against it. No time for 3 today. Rothman and Ice coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Enjoy your first Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats live from the stands, and we've got a special update. Sources confirm fans using the Vivid Seats app are racking up rewards with every ticket and doing it fast. With an unbeatable lineup of seats and perks that go the distance, why use any other app for game day? Don't fumble this season. Grab your tickets through Vivid Seats, download their app, earn rewards, and as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, get $20 off your first $200 in-app purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. And if you're gearing up for the big game, don't forget the MVP of desserts, Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. This legendary treat just made its way to Ohio. Finally! We're talking rich devil's food cake, buttery cream bumps, and a fudge icing that is just unfair. They'd throw a flag on it if it was actually on the field. Bring one to your next tailgate, watch party, or even a team celebration, and you'll be the real hero. Available now at Kroger and Meijer, Sanders Bumpy Cake. It's game day greatness.
When it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Right now in Washington, there's a fight going on to make life more affordable and bring back American jobs. Some play politics, and some want to get things done. Senator John Husted is cutting through the noise, putting Ohio first. The new tax bill delivers for working families and helps small businesses hire and grow right here in Ohio. Tell John Husted, keep fighting for Ohio families and small businesses. Paid for by Senate Opportunity Fund.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means 3 things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime at Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast. Secrets of Pella. Where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, with this easy slide operator, I can slide open this window with just one finger. What are you guys hiding?
Well, we're not hiding anything, but that slide is cool, right?
All right, cut. Leslie, it is so cool. Look, I'm opening it with just one pinky.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.